So let's get started. I think we should start now, right, Nana? Without further ado. Okay, that means yes. Okay, okay. Let's get started now. So let's get started. I think that's it. That's everybody here. I think we don't miss anyone. We are, yeah. I think we are all the people here in my list. So okay, guys, let's start our conversation today. Today, our topic is procrastination. I think it's like a common word nowadays. If you go on YouTube and you watch these so-called motivational videos or self-improvement videos, they told us that we don't have to procrastinate. Please stop procrastination. Don't procrastinate. And so yeah, that's the topic that I wanted to talk, because sometimes I suffer, not sometimes, most of the time, most often do not, I do this, I suffer from procrastination. I procrastinate a lot. Sometimes I had to do things. I know that I have to do things. For example, let's say that I need to do something for my job, but I stop doing that and I get distracted with another thing. Let's say, for example, a YouTube video or something on social media, or maybe because I like to play the guitar, I pick my guitar and start playing the guitar because it's easier for me, and I try to avoid to do the hard work. I don't know. And at the last minute, I'm running to complete my task, my job, or the thing that I was supposed to be doing. And I'm been struggling with this procrastination thing. I don't know if it's the same with you guys, so that's what I wanted to talk with you about this today. So let's get started with Alexander. Alexander. Okay, our topic is procrastination. So what is procrastination for you, and why is the reason we procrastinate? What do you think?
Well, to be honest with you, I had already heard about this word before, but didn't know the meaning of it. So I had to search it on Google. And
Okay.
as far as I could understand, procrastination is the action of putting something aside to do in the future,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
And why we procrastinate? Well, I think we sometimes procrastinate because we are afraid of the consequences of something that we may do right now, and it can affect in a negative way in the future. So we have to think twice, because sometimes we take a decision right now that can affect in a negative way for your life, for people around you, like your family, friends, So you just have to procrastinate. No, let me think better. Let me think twice, because
Mm,
the decision that I take right now make it may bring bad consequences in the future. That's why
yeah,
some people procrastinate. That's what I believe. That's what
yeah,
I
yeah.
think.
I think you're right, but it's I think it's deeper than that, because it's like, especially when you are, for example, when you are studying, you
Yeah.
know that you have to study, but you say, as you said, you set aside these things because you know that it's important, and you know deep in your heart that it's important, but you
Yes.
decided not to do because it's difficult. Instead, you choose to do another thing that it's easier. So that's procrastination. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
have you ever experienced that or not?
Oh my God, all the time, because um, English is something that can summarize this in my life.
Mhm.
Sometimes I have the opportunity to practice more, um, to do great, to acquire more experience in this language, and I just procrastinate. Oh no, I'm not into do it right now. I got my work. I got a lot of things to do. It's kind of I'm making excuses all the time instead of challenge myself more. I think I could challenge myself more, um, to acquire more experience, to become a better speaker, to practice more, and
Yeah.
I just stop myself, which is really bad. I need to stop this. I have this deficiency sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. Do you have a word for these things on Portuguese, or it's a word like it's
Yes,
only in English?
procrastination.
It's the same.
Yeah, it's very similar. Procrastinação.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because in Spanish it's procrastinación. It's kind of
Oh, so similar.
similar. It's so similar. So
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
and I agree with you. It's for me. It was like a new word. Up until a few years ago, I was listening. I was hearing a lot about this word about procrastination, and I stopped and I start thinking, what is this? What is the meaning of this word? It's like everybody's talking about procrastination and why it's really bad, because we are postponing things, important things, and we choose to do the easier
Yeah.
things. But when they but you it comes a time when you have to do the important thing and you don't have the time to do the like a deadline. You have to do your job and you don't have much time to do, so you have to run and you do things very bad. So
Oh,
that's
yeah. It's also something that I used to procrastinate all the time. Um, I like to run.
mhm.
I like to exercise my body. But even though when I am at home, I make an excuse to not to go. I'm tired. Um, I have to study English. A lot of excuses.
Yeah,
It happens to me all the time.
yeah. So that's the next. It was the last question, but the question that was in the middle was do you think procrastination is a big problem or not? What do you think?
Well, I think that it depends on the situation. Mostly it is because it stops you to succeed sometimes, to live great experience, to have a better future. You are all the time procrastinating, and when you realize you wasted a lot of time in your life, a lot of opportunities to become how can I say, a more successful person,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
And I believe that it happened to me a lot of times before. I procrastinated several times.
yeah.
But I think we always have new opportunities, even though, like me, for example, I'm 44.
Mhm.
But I don't think that my life just stopped. I can't do anything else.
Yeah,
Yes, I still have time.
yeah,
While
yeah,
I'm alive, breathing, I believe that something I can do something new in my life.
yeah, yeah. I agree
But
with
I
you.
cannot be wasting time. I have to act. I have to act
Yeah, so
like this.
that lead us to brings us to the next question. It's do you do the last question? Do you procrastinate very often, or do you always do or get things done once you set your mind to do something? It's like when you say you I have to do something, you immediately do it, or you procrastinate and do other things. That's the question.
Well, usually I procrastinate a lot. I think the only decision that I took was to take an English course when I was 36.
Mhm.
Uh, when I was young, I thought like this. No, um, I got no money to take an English course. I don't need to do this. It's not necessary. I thought like this all the time. But then when I became 36, I started thinking differently. No, I can do it. I will stop procrastinating. For sure, I can do it, and I did. Um, I took an English course. It was the best decision that I took in my life. That's what I think. Another things I used to procrastinate because lack of money. For example, let's just say that I want to buy a big beach house, but it requires a large amount of money. For now, it's only on my mind.
And then
It's not a reality for me, unfortunately, because it requires a lot of money. So let it go, let it go.
yeah, okay,
Let's
okay.
put it aside.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's but you start. I agree with it. But one thing that you said that we it's like it's never too late to start learning a new thing. And yeah,
No, yes,
it's never too
not
late.
at all.
Sometimes we live in that zone of complaining why I didn't do this thing when I was in my 20s. Sometimes I told that to myself that why I didn't start learning English when I was younger. But it is what it is, and we have to stop complaining and start to moving forward. Yes, so
Yeah,
I agree with you in that.
yeah. I had a plan to start learning Spanish in 2021, but unfortunately, I had to put it aside because I had another priorities, kind of such as to reform my house. I wanted to buy a car, and I did
Mhm.
that fortunately. But I confess
Congratulations.
that I didn't give up on it. One day I will learn Spanish
Yeah,
because the language that I love the most is English, of course, but I also love Spanish. That's my dream.
yeah, it's same as me. I was thinking about learning Portuguese, but I don't know. Every time that I start or I pick a book or a PDF or when I find something on YouTube, it's like it's like English is calling me. It's easier for me, and sometimes I think it's my English is still, of course, it's not perfect. I'm still learning, so sometimes I tend
But you do
to,
great. Don't worry about it because you do great.
yeah, I tend to how do you say? I tend to do to incline to go for the path of less resistance. Let put it this way. For me, English it's easier, and with Portuguese it would be like from zero, from scratch. So
I understand
maybe
because
that's the reason.
it happens to me. English to me, English is like a hobby. Uh, I don't practice. I don't practice this language because oh I have to speak English because I want to make money. Um, I want to make money and then something like this. No, that's my hobby. It's a big pleasure that I have.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Same as me. So yeah,
I don't do it for obligation. That's my true love.
yeah. Maybe that's the secret for learning for success in learning for
Yeah,
succeeding at learning a language, I guess. So yeah, I agree with you in that regard. So
yeah.
that's it, Alexander. Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing with us
Hi,
your
thank you.
opinions today, and it's really nice to hear your English and to hear, yeah, because you speak very in a very clear way. So you
Oh,
make
thank you.
everything you make
The same.
everything clear. So maybe in the future you could be like, maybe you can give it a try. I think I told you the last time you can be like a leader or like a moderator. You can be
I'll
something
give
like
it a
that.
try.
Yeah,
I'll give it a try. I
I
promise
think
you.
it would be, you will have fun doing this. So yeah, thank you, Alexander. Thank you very
Oh,
much.
you're welcome. I thank
Okay,
you.
thank you, Alexander. And let's move on to our next participant, our dear friend Alison Alves from Brazil.
Hello.
Okay, Alison.
The question for
Alison.
me is
Okay, Alison Alves. Alves is like a famous last name in Brazil, like Dani Alves. Do you like football or not?
no. To be honest with you, I don't like football. I just watch football in the World Cup.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's a stereotype for foreigner, especially for people internationally. It's like everybody in Brazil plays
Please,
football.
or like football, yeah.
Yeah, but it's a stereotype, right?
Yes, yes, totally. I know a lot of people, guys that don't like football, soccer player. So I'm this
Okay.
case of.
Do you have any favorite sport apart from
No,
football?
I don't think that I have a favorite sport, but if I had the opportunity to practice a sport, I think that would be gymnastics Olympic. But I'm not in this age anymore.
Yeah, but maybe you could treat it like a hobby. Maybe it would be a hobby.
Yeah, yeah, but it's because my in the city that I live, it's not so easy to find a place to practice it. You know, it's very difficult. Just in the very rich schools, something
Yeah,
like that,
yeah,
we don't
it's like,
find it so easy like martial arts or like other sports like football, something like this.
yeah. Football, you only need like a field in a ball. It's
Yeah,
quite easy, right?
yes,
Okay, then. Sorry, I was about to call you Dani Alves, but it's Alison Alves. Sorry about that.
yes, no problem.
Alison, procrastination. What is procrastination? What do you think? And why we procrastinate?
Okay, so I think that procrastination
Mhm.
it's something very bad that is happening nowadays, or not nowadays. To be honest, I think that we always, like human beings, you did it before in the past, and we continue to doing it today. Procrastination it's the act of don't do something that we need to do,
Yeah.
and if we do, I know that it can change our lives many times, that we can overcome different kind of things. But unfortunately, I think it's easier avoid to do difficult tasks and just to be in your comfort zone, you know. And it's something with it's happening with me
Mhm.
all the time.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
need to overcome it as fast as possible because I think that it's most most of the time it's because of the social medias. It's something that is helping me to procrastination because I spend some time watching videos or just talking with some friends of mine. But definitely it's something bad, and I'm very conscient about it. I'm very conscient that I need to overcome this, but it's not easy.
Yeah, I agree with you. Let's say the procrastinator, the person who procrastinate, he's aware that he's wasting the time,
Yeah.
because I've been there. I consider myself, yeah, everybody knows that we need to do the important things, but we choose not to do it. So yeah, I experience the same as you. And you said something, you make a really good point when you said that, especially nowadays for younger generations, it's more difficult, I guess, because of social media. It's really easy to get distracted. I don't know. What do you
Yes.
think? It's
Yeah.
difficult for younger people or for older people?
No, I think it's easier for younger people because most of people of this actual generation from 20 to today, they prefer to be like very famous people in the social media, so they use their time to to post as much as content they have, or to show a kind of life that many times they don't have,
Yeah.
and to show themselves to the other people, to the people think, oh my God, he or she has a perfect life, like a life of appearance, you know. So I think it's very easy for this generation.
Yeah. Okay, you already answered the three questions at once, because the second question was, do you think procrastination is a big problem? And you already told us that yes. And the last question was, do you procrastinate very often or not? Yeah, let's answer
Yes.
the last question. Do you procrastinate very often? What is the thing that you have been postponing? Let's put it
Yeah.
this way.
Yes, I think so. I think that I'm procrastinating a lot because, for example, I'm learning English not because I love English. I'm interested in to learn the language, but I know that English language is such important for everybody that want to achieve a career goal or a
Mhm.
successful life. So you need to do it because
Yeah.
if you don't speak English, you can't uh, achieve these goals. You know,
Yeah.
but it's a little difficult for me because it's like you and Alexandre told us. You need to be passionate about it. You need to to do it because you literally like it, not just for obligation. And how it's my case, I think that many times when I start to study, for example, and I'm there listening or reading or making some exercise of grammatic, and then I start to watch other things, or I start to get inside of my Instagram, and then I
Mhm.
realized already I already lost a lot of time doing
Sorry, Barry. Now I don't know. All of a sudden we stop hearing you. It's, I don't know what happened. Maybe it's your microphone.
Oh, is it better now?
Yeah, yeah. Now, yeah, exactly. Now I can hear you.
What did you understand about what I had told you? I don't know
Well,
in which part you didn't listen.
it's just the last few seconds. So yeah,
Oh,
please repeat the whole idea.
okay. So when I realized I already lost a lot of time, so must because of it. I think that you need to to do for love, for passion. If you don't do this for because you literally like or enjoy, you will find a lot of reasons to not to do it.
Okay. What for me, uh, concerning what you said, for me it looks like you really like English because you speak very well. So
Oh, thank you so much.
so it looks like you love English. It looks like you really liked it because it's
Thank you so
you
much.
speak very very well. So I think, well, for me, let me tell you something. It's like when I said that I get really passionate about this language. It's like I don't learn grammar. It's last time that I studied grammar, it was like probably 10 years ago or something like that. But at some point, I started to watch videos and content on YouTube about things that I like technology, or it's like I'm immersing myself in the language and I stop studying, the grammatical rules and things like that. Maybe that's my approach, and maybe it's not for everybody, but for me, that's something that works for me. It's like when I listen to something in English, it's like it's like I try to enjoy it like it was Spanish for me, like my native language. It's like if I have to search for something, let's say how to fix my motorcycle, I don't look at on Spanish, but I look for that in English, and that's the same. The same is true for everything that I do. So it's like I don't study grammar. It's like I try to watch and consume a lot of content that I used to watch in Spanish, but now I change it to English. If that makes sense. I don't know if you do the same thing. Do you watch things in English or not?
No, I think no, but sometimes yes. For example, I'm crew member of a company, of a cruise ship company, and nowadays I'm watching or trying to learn as much as possible about this kind of content. In addition, some YouTubers channels that teach me, or for example, I enjoy to travel, and I'm having this opportunity to travel because of my job. So I enjoy to find places to go or what to do. It's something that literally makes me enjoy the process, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not always that I do it. I think that I'm doing something wrong. That is to put focus in the grammatic part or in the something that
I
I
don't
don't like.
think I don't think it's wrong. I think everybody is different and everybody have their own method. So for me, it's not there is no right method and there is no wrong method. Everybody enjoy different things, and so I'm not gonna say don't study grammar because that especially helps with speaking accurately, I guess. But it depends in the things that you like. If you like doing that, do that. If you don't like, so I agree. I totally agree with you. The most important thing is to enjoy the process, and yeah, that's the most important thing. If you enjoy studying, study. If you enjoy watching YouTubers, watch those YouTubers. The most important thing is do things that you like, right?
Yeah, right.
So yeah, thank you,
Thank you.
Alison.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And do you want to say anything else about our topic today?
Yeah, it's just something that I want to do is, guys, if you're doing something that it's avoiding you to achieve your goals, to that is stuck in you. I I want to share. Let's try to overcome this because we can do whatever we want.
Wow. Thank you about your camera configuration because you were watching like to the right and your camera was to the left.
Just
How do
like
you
this.
do that?
Yes,
It's
yes.
like
Just I'm moving the mobile camera. That's it.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
I'm using the screen mirroring and watching the monitor
mm,
at the same time. Using the
yeah,
camera. I don't
yeah,
have a camera. Like you know what I mean?
yeah. It's like you have another screen and you are projecting in that screen,
Yes,
something like that.
yes. Now I have to
Okay.
start doing that again
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we
Okay.
sent a new link, right? So,
Okay. Okay. Thank you for joining, MG.
yeah,
And
yeah.
let's talk about our topic today.
Mm-hmm.
Our topic today, we are talking about procrastination. What do you think is procrastination? Have you ever listened to that word in the past or not?
Uh, I'm not sure I do that, but I think many people do that nowadays because we want to do some, but we avoid the things for other things. Like if you want to go play football, but I'm lazy to go and just play football in the computer, something like that. Now I'm going coaching for IELTS exam because I'm planning to study in somewhere else in America. So whenever I go to the class, plan to go to class at the time. If like for example, the class was like 6 a.m. But avoid the class for other ends because I want to sleep. Who cares about the class? If I do the class, my life would be changed totally. But I still struggling to do that. That's what I'm doing now. I have to stop doing that because
So you are planning to take
that's
an IELTS
yes, yes.
exam? It's like an English exam, right?
Yes, yes. If you want to
Why do
study
you?
or work in a
Sorry, go ahead.
carry on, carry on. Okay. I mean, if you want to go study in the country like USA or Canada, you have to write the exam. That's what I'm planning to do.
Yeah.
So, in the end of the August, I'm
So
going to write the exam.
what is the country that you want to study? Is the US or Canada? What is more
Probably
attractive?
Canada, if not UK.
Yeah. And so you want to move over there to study. What do you like to study
Yes.
over there?
Civil engineering, that's, because I'm already finished the bachelor's in civil engineering. Now I'm planning to study master's in there.
So yeah. I think it's a big dream for every young people to study abroad, especially in the United States or in the
Yeah.
US, I guess. So, yeah.
I don't like
How old
United
are
States
you?
actually.
Sorry,
I'm
how old are
22.
you? 22. Yeah,
22.
you're quite young. 22.
I think so.
Yeah. So yeah, I hope you can accomplish that. So yeah,
Thank
next
you.
question is
Mhm.
uh, let me a little bit of improvisation here because I just closed my Google Chrome. So yeah, do you think procrastination is a big problem nowadays, especially for young people, or not? What do you think?
Yes, it is. Of course, it is. Because now people are stuck in the monitors and phones other than a real job or real work. They don't care about the future.
Yeah,
They just like what they're doing now. That's the problem. In the future, they suffer by the money, financial wise, and after that, they'll get married. The family also suffer because of them. So it's a very big problem. In my point.
yeah. Nowadays, it's so easy to get distracted, as we said with Alison and Alexander. It's really easy to get distracted with our
Yes.
phones. So it's a big problem.
Mhm.
I agree with you. So next question:
Yeah, it is.
Do you consider yourself
Mhm.
a
Mhm.
person who procrastinate, or you always do things immediately without hesitation, or you don't postpone to do things, and you are very good at doing things
Uh,
immediately?
Yeah, I was. If I want to do something else, I'll do it immediately. But the time, for example, if I want to go for any coaching based on the hard work things, I will do it first because I like that and I like because my job also that. So I'll always do. But if I want to do something for fun, I'll think a little bit if I want to do that, or I have to learn something about my job a little bit better, or any software based. So it's up to the thing I'm going to do. It's up to my job or anything useful for me, I'll do. But if it's for fun, I think you have to do that.
Yeah. And what about, I don't know, postponing things? Have you ever been like, have you ever postponed something to the future that you know that you have to do? Like, I don't know, for example, let's say I want to play the piano. I want to learn how to play the piano, and I always talk to myself that I want to play the piano. But when it comes to when the times strikes, when the times get that I have to sit down and play, I don't learn. I choose to do another thing. I don't know if something like that happened to you, or do you have something that you are planning to do and you are postponing?
Yeah, yeah, I'm already postponing this abroad education already 1 year. I plan to go this year, January, but it postponed to the next year. So yeah, postponing is a very normal thing nowadays. We postponing everything, like buying this one tomorrow. We have the money,
Yeah,
but we just lazy to go there and lazy to do that. So it's very normal. Like people think it's everything, but it's not normal. If you suffer for that, for sure in the future. So we have to stop doing that and make it normalized thing. The postponing. Like I can do tomorrow, I can do it from Monday, I can do it from the August 1st. That's not a good thing, and it's never going to happen. That's the truth. That's it. If you
yeah,
want to do something, do it. Just do it from today. That's it.
yeah. I agree with you. And I hope that you can do the things that you are planning to do next 2024, right?
Yeah.
Next year, everything is going to be
2020.
better, I hope.
Yeah.
I don't know. Here
Hope so.
in for me, it was like when the pandemic was very difficult at that time. I was postponing everything, and
Hmm.
after that, the pandemic end, and I keep doing I
Hmm.
keep postponing things. So that was a problem. I think that didn't
Okay.
happen.
May I know
Also,
where you're from?
I am from
I
Colombia.
mean,
Colombia.
oh, yeah. So you watch football, right?
Yeah. I like.
Yeah.
You can say that I like football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like football. I was a
Do you
professional
like
when I was
football?
20. After that, I'll stop playing football. But
Yeah.
I do watch football still.
Yeah. So you know that Messi now it's on the US in the Inter
MLS.
the Miami,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. If I go to Canada, I can have a chance to watch him.
Okay. What is your
Yes.
favorite,
Yeah.
Messi or
I
Ronaldo?
can see the thing.
Oh, yeah,
You can see that already.
you
Messi there.
answered the question. Yeah, I also like Messi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Donald.
It's not the Ronaldo. It's not a good player. It's one of the best player, but Messi is the GOAT in my opinion.
But you can find a lot of players like Ronaldo. That's a different from Messi. Ronaldo is still good player, great player. But you can find a lot of players like play like him. But Messi is totally different. No one can play like him. Only he can
Yeah,
play
it's
like him. That's the difference.
like a magician.
Dribbling.
It's like magic
Yeah.
when he
Yeah.
grabs the ball. It's like magic. So yeah, I agree with you. Okay, I don't know if you know something about Colombia nowadays. In the FIFA World Cup on Brazil, it was very a successful team. I mean, I don't know if you remember
Yeah, they
James
were successful
Rodriguez.
team. Yeah.
James Rodriguez,
I'm not sure, but
Falcao.
I hear about one incident in, about the Colombia thing. I'm not sure it's Colombia, but the player let the team down, and after the few days he has been killed. Right? Is that true? I'm not sure his name.
Well, it was kind of true. The thing was in the 90s, 1994, in the US World Cup. At that time, Colombia was very famous because of the drugs of the cartel Pablo Escobar. I don't know if you heard about that. It was a really sad story. Fortunately, nowadays things are better, but in the past,
Yeah. Everyone
the
knows that.
cartels, the drugs dealers, they rule everything in the past, like 20 or probably 30 years ago, 50 years ago, and that's what happened. The man that you are talking, he did like, or he made like an own goal in the same goal to the same goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So that was a very sad story because of that, because of the cartels, the drug dealers. They were the boss, and they shoot to them because of that, I guess, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not really sure, but yeah, I think it's something like that. It was something like that.
Yeah,
But
I'm not.
nowadays, fortunately, nowadays don't those things don't happen. Now, if you want to come here to Colombia, I can tell you that it's a safe place to visit, and yeah, it's in a better position now. It's a beautiful country, and it's not really dangerous. I think it's like every country in the world. You have to be careful, but it's not like in the past when all the drug dealers, the cartel, Pablo, and things like that, they were the person who were ruling the country. But nowadays it's different. So
Yeah.
I hope you can you can
Yeah,
find
understand.
some videos on YouTube about Colombia. It's a beautiful place to visit also.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. MG. Do you want to say anything else about procrastination?
That's all.
So okay, so thank you for joining today. Thank you very much. I think I don't know, it's the first time we met or it's the second time. I'm not sure. I think we met before.
We met quite sometimes, but we don't often, like 6 months on time, like something.
Yeah, because it was like your face was kind of familiar. So yeah. Thank you very much, MG. Thank you very much, and I hope we can talk very soon about football. Maybe our next topic is going to be football.
Yes, yeah.
And,
Add me then.
and Messi and
And all that.
Barcelona Football Club and Real Madrid and all those things that I really like also. Thank you, MG. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's move on to our next participant, Arlie. Arlie 19. Are you there, Arlie?
Hey, sorry.
Okay, no problem. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I can.
Are you able to turn your camera or not?
Sure.
Sorry?
Here I am.
Sorry for the waiting, because you are
No.
waiting for your turn. So okay.
Fine.
Yeah, tell us something about our topic today. Our topic is procrastination. Do you know what is procrastination? What is
I do. I mean, the moment I saw the topic shared by Nana, I directly grabbed my laptop because I remember last year I collected some information regarding procrastination and regarding a study about procrastination. It also has something to do with myself. Like I procrastinate a lot, especially 2 years ago or 1 year ago. So yeah, I do know some things about procrastination, like something that might be counterintuitive. Before I used to think that procrastination is about time management problem, but according to most of the studies, they pointed out that mood and emotional management problem, like has a role, like it's just like the culprit of the procrastination. And I
Yeah,
really feel that because most of the time, the reason that I procrastinate a lot as a student is that because I feel like anxiety or I feel like perfectionism. Like it has to do a lot about my mood,
yeah.
and yeah, uh, mm,
Yeah, I agree with you. It's like the psychological. How do you say? What was the word that you use? It's like the psychological part of you, the emotional part, right?
yeah,
It
emotional, mhm. Emotional management, emotional
yeah,
management.
emotional management. Yes, that's. I think that's the key word, right? It's like some people, well, especially older people, like my parents, they would say that I don't do the things because I'm lazy. I don't know. The
Yeah,
older generation, they only see things like, no, you don't do things because you are lazy or things like that. They don't know this word of procrastination, the procrastination thing. I don't know if it's like
mm,
a new thing for the new generation. I don't know if it, what do you think? It has to do with the current technology that we have nowadays, or it
I
has nothing.
yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like we live in an epidemic of distraction where we are surrounded of technology. Like we have games, TV show on our fingertips, and not to mention when we get like a difficult task or really bored task, we tend to like to find, not that we get distracted, but we find something to entertain us. So we find ourselves indulge in like on social media, like aimlessly scrolling up, scrolling down, and yeah. I
So,
mean,
do you think it's going to be worse for the future generations because they are growing with this technology?
well, I think it might be due, but again, we should think um, like we should not generalize. Like we should not generalize.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We should not generalize, but it is also true that nowadays it's easier than the past to get distracted, right?
Yeah, I would say yes. I find myself like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
because of,
Be- Because I have a 3-year-old niece, which is my daughter, sister, the daughter of my sister, or my sister's daughter, and she's only 3 or 4 years old, and she's already spending all day with the
oh
phone. So it's
yes,
for them it's going to be more difficult.
yes.
So yeah, next question. Let's move on to our next question. Um, the last question: do you procrastinate very often, or how do you manage these things?
Well,
Or you're a person who always do the things very, you immediately tackle the most difficult things first, and what is your
again,
process?
yeah, there's a tendency like if I, for example, as a student, in my academic responsibility,
Mhm.
if I like the task, if like I'm interested in the task, I directly like get that task done. But if I'm not really like emotionally connected to text and I just feel like it's bored and it's kind of difficult, so I find myself like procrastinate. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something very interesting. Well, you are quite young. I don't know. Can I ask you how old are you?
I'm 20.
Yeah, you are quite young. When you, for example, I'm in my 30s. So when you are procrastinating, when you start procrastinating in your 20s and you procrastinate for a decade, for 10 years, it's even more difficult. Sometimes I find myself
I
saying things
mean,
that, why
yeah.
I didn't do that earlier, something like that.
I mean, in certain things, like for example, in my spiritual responsibility, I don't procrastinate at all. I love to be on time. For example, here as a Muslim, we need to like do meditation 5 times, at least 5 times. So I always do it on time. But when it comes to certain things that like academic responsibility, I find myself like sometimes, especially as I told you, if I don't like the subject or if I don't like the task, I just keep myself like procrastinate.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe I was distracted. Did you told us what is the thing that you are studying? What do you study? I don't know if you told us. What are you studying? What is your career? What is your major?
Oh, I'm majoring in English education.
and English education. So same as Nana and Adiba, right?
Well,
Don't you live in the same area of Adiba? Because she's from
I
Indonesia also.
I'm actually Indonesian and
Yeah.
like live in Sulawesi. It's an island quite far
Mhm.
from the capital city.
So Adiba, it's not in the same area of Adiba. Yeah, so you don't study in the same school, I guess. Right? Okay. So that's the reason early you speak, yeah, early, right? I kind of called you early. You told me early, right? That's the reason you speak very uh, with advanced vocabulary. I would say you speak English with a very good vocabulary, in my opinion. So yeah, it's because you are studying the thing. That's awesome.
Yeah, probably. I mean, but I'm sure it has more to do with uh my endeavors towards English. Like I study by myself. I don't just rely on because if you rely on university, like
Mhm.
you won't get that. You won't get that.
Yeah, you have to immerse yourself in the
Yeah, to
language
the
by
language.
yourself.
You have to love the language. And
Yeah, yeah,
then
I agree. I totally agree with you, 100%. How long have you been studying this language? I mean, at university, it's like 1 year, maybe
mm, 3 years.
3 years. So you
Yes,
started at 17, at see, 17, 17
I started. Yeah,
in
17.
2020
Yeah.
during the pandemic, I guess. Yeah, you already told us. Yeah, it's yeah, it's the way that you speak. You speak very accurately. So yeah, I agree with you. It's not, you don't have to rely only on the teachers.
Yeah.
You have to take responsibility for your own learning. So that's
Yeah.
something that happens to me also.
The moment you have that dream, you need to rely on your own self.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. So yeah, okay, that's it for procrastination. Do you think it's a big problem nowadays? That would be the last question.
Well, as a student, like to be honest, like students probably are often known to like pulling all the night or what I forget that phrase. Like they stay all night and
Mhm.
they try to get their tasks done and they don't sleep at all. And it must be like a real problem because their lack of sleep and probably it can like affect their memory, like and their health and
Yeah,
and also their academic performance.
yeah, yeah. It's a big problem for students. What about for graduate students, for people who are working? Do you think it's a problem too?
Yeah, they will face, if they have a job, they will face like career setback.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
And it will hinder their productivity.
Yeah, especially with, I can tell you with YouTube. For me, YouTube is the most easy way to procrastinate for me. I procrastinate on YouTube and I procrastinate with English. So I have to do another thing and I choose to go on YouTube and watch something in English, which is good. In one way, it's good because I'm learning something, but I'm not doing the thing that I was supposed to do, if that makes sense. So adults also suffer from procrastination, sometimes even more than young people, I guess. Okay, Arlie, would you like to say anything else about our topic today?
I think that's all for me.
Okay, so I just want to say thank you, Arlie. Thank you very much for joining. It was really nice to meet you, and I hope we can talk in another opportunity. Thank you for joining today.
Yes.
Bye. Thanks. Okay, let's move on to our next participant, our dear friend Adiba. Adiba Aida.
Hello,
Putarida.
could you hear my voice?
Just a little bit.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, of course we can hear you. Yeah,
Okay.
it's very clear. So, Adiba, what do you think about procrastination? Is it a big problem for people nowadays and for you? Or what
Mm,
is procrastination?
Procrastination is the act of delaying or delaying tasks even if they are important or need to be done. It involves avoiding or pushing of work, often choosing to engage in less important or more enjoyable activity instead. But
For example, in your case, what it be, what would be an example for you, like when you are procrastinating?
for me, I always like scrolling social media because sometimes I also beside a student I also a content writer, right? So every time I always like look for what is viral in this day like that in social media. So I just scroll and then make a content like a script on my company YouTube. So I always like scrolling that, but I like it because instead of I like maybe like procrastinating something, but I can work in that. Yeah, I can work as content writer. I mean, I can still work on my job like that.
Yeah, so it's a win-win for everybody. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're okay. So that's, yeah, I think that's the main. I don't know. In the past, people don't. If you think about it, in the past, like 100 years ago, people used to procrastinate also, but in a different way. I guess I don't know. But nowadays, it's totally different.
Yeah.
It's 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 very easy to get distracted. So next
Uh-huh.
question: do you think procrastination is a big problem in your experience, or for your peers, your schoolmates, or yeah, or your friends and yourself also? It's a big problem nowadays.
I think depends on the people. I think because people like procrastinating something. I mean they like to do something because there is some factor. It's not about allergy again, but something like they got like a vertigo or they like maybe like they are perfectionists. They have to do like thinking a lot about their work. So I think it is good or not. I think depend on the people because sometimes uh they like me if I doing my task my I never use on time when my lecturer give me like a task or maybe the deadline is 2 days later. I always do in 10 minutes before the deadline come. I never do in that
Yeah.
directly because sometimes I can't do it directly. It is like I don't have an idea to do like yeah I don't have an idea and like in my mind like was there something difficult but when I do it like 10 minutes before the deadline end up like the task is something like so easy for me so it's like I can do something under the like under what's that yeah
Under the pressure.
yeah under the pressure.
Yeah, yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's sometimes it's for me. It's been the case also that I have to. Sometimes I think I work better under the
Mm.
pressure, but I don't know. Maybe it's a way to to tell myself that to just to try to make an excuse to do other things. Maybe for me it's like the case. It's like I know I'm better working under pressure, but sometimes it's like it's an excuse because I wanted to do other things, because I choose to do other things, I guess.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, I think it's a problem because you're quite young, but if you keep doing the procrastination thing over the years, it's been my case. I can promise you it's not a really good
Yeah.
strategy to live your life,
Yeah, yeah.
because you're going to regret when you were
Uh-uh.
when you are older, very old like me. You will be regretting things that you don't do in the past. So yeah.
Yeah.
Next question, Adiba. Sorry, Abel. Let me read. Sorry, go ahead. Are you going to say anything else
No,
before I
no.
read?
Yes. Yeah, just you keep going.
Okay, the next question is: do you procrastinate very often, or you always do things when you immediately? I think you kind of answered that, but yeah, do it again.
I think depends on the work because sometimes I procrastinate when I get tired when I have so many things to do, so I feel like tired, so I need to like laying on my bed just scrolling social media for a day, just like that. So it is sometimes there is a time for me to like procrastinate all thing like my task in my college or my job in my internship. So like it is like for me just one. yeah, maybe sometime I procrastinate about that. And yeah, it's not often because I always my CEO always giving like a short deadline for me, so I can do like procrastinate something. So like making a content, they give like a day for the deadline, so I have to look for some reference to always write some content. And also sometimes if the same deadline, I have to like doing like I have to choose. I mean, I have to choose the priority what I have to do with all my internship or in my academic stuff like that. Yeah, sometimes not
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, it really depends. So
Yeah, it
it's your
depends.
answer. Sometimes you feel like, but I think it's not a big problem for you because sometimes you are able to do things and sometimes not.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
because
Arlene. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah,
Arlene, it's
because
saying good. Thank you, Arlene. Thank you for joining.
huh?
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Arlene. Go ahead, Adiba.
Yeah, because what's that? Sometimes I feel like I want to like giving like a space to myself to like come on Diva, you have to like enjoying your time, just laying on your bed just even for a day like that. You have to like give a reward if you like giving a reward when I doing the something like something big or something new that I never do like that. So that's it.
Yeah, I guess it's not like a big problem, a big deal
Yeah.
for you. It's like
Uh-huh.
something healthy because you are taking a break. But
Yeah.
for some people, it's a problem because we are constantly postponing the important things. So yeah, it really depends. So yeah, thank you, Adiba. Do you want to say anything else about our topic today?
I think no, I think it's enough.
Okay, so
Okay,
thank
thank
you, Adiba. It's nice to hear from you
yeah,
again,
my
and see
pleasure.
you very very soon. Thank you very much.
Uh,
Let's move on to our next friend, Nana, who is the admin of the group. Sorry for waiting to the last to the,
It's okay, it's
but you
okay.
know, it's like a tradition. The admin of the group, that means they answer the question in the last moment. So sorry about that. Okay, Nana, what do you have to tell us about procrastination? What is procrastination?
Okay, based on my little research, I think I've joined maybe event before this, and the topic was procrastination. And before this, I've never knew what the meaning is, but then I realized how it is, and I think not I think, but procrastination is like doing something unnecessary and somehow being lazy and delaying things that we should have done early. Like if I were to take the closest example to me, I think it will be the life of students, like since I'm a student. So I think this had been mentioned by Arlie and also Adiba. So students, they tend to do unnecessary things like wasting their times on social media or maybe video games, or postponing their assignments or works. And they should not have done that. To speak honestly, I mean, like, of course, I would say that I'm included in that type. And sometimes I tend to ignore my assignments and procrastinate a lot. And I knew it was not good for myself. And I just couldn't help it, since we're still human, we're not perfect and something like that. And of course I try my best to avoid procrastinating, and I do more necessary things like writing, since I love writing, and working on my assignments when I have free times, and also even joining this meeting is one of my way to avoid these procrastinating thing.
So you are procrastinating right now in this meeting.
Since it's my holiday, I don't have much things to do. So I don't know what to do. So I sleep and just eat and do playing with my social media and so on. So it's like not good for me. So I think like being in this meeting, or maybe joining other English groups meeting, like group calls or something like that, will help me to maybe fill my time in doing worthy things. I mean, it's better to do something worthy enough and fill our time with something more meaningful, right? Rather than being procrastinating.
Yeah. I agree with you. Yeah, sometimes for me it's the same with English. It's like I should be doing other things, but I choose to click on links that send me to another thing that it's not related with the task that I had to do. And but that when you live in for very long in that state of mind, as I said before, for years, when you are procrastinating for years, it's a serious problem, I guess.
Mhm.
But when you, I think every student in the world, it's the same. I was a student and I was just like that, and I was postponing the things. For example, if I had an exam, a test, the last day I was standing all night long trying to study because I didn't study earlier. So yeah, it's more common, I guess, as you said, with students. So yeah, it's a big problem. Do you have something that do you have something that you are postponing to do that you think that's important? That's important, but let's do some TikTok or let's do some Instagram, and you choose to do the easy things instead of doing the hard thing.
I
Do
think
you
my
experience that?
answer would be kind of like similar with other students. Like I mean like I always postpone my assignments a lot since I'm a student, and it's just that same like Adipa said, like we just don't have the ideas to do our assignments and our works, and it's just kind of like not coming. And normally my ideas will come at late, like almost near to the due dates, and I just do it on that time. But when I'm procrastinating, I think like I would just scroll on my Instagrams and also watch some videos from YouTube and something like that. I just keep on doing something to entertain myself instead of doing something more worthy, like doing some exercise or something like that. It's just yeah, I must admit it.
Yeah. Apart from your studies, do you have a hobby that you have been procrastinating, or something that you like to do?
Well, okay, okay, Minji, thank you.
MG, thank you, MG.
Thank you
Thank
so
you very
much.
much.
Okay. So aside from my study, Bye, Minjay. Okay. So aside from my study, I think since I've mentioned that I'm a writer and I love writing a lot, and I don't know, it's kind of like I sometimes procrastinate this. I mean, like I normally publish my stories on some websites or something like that, and sometimes like when I don't have the ideas or when I'm just lazy to write something, I would just leave it be. So it's kind of like such a pity since the readers of my stories, they are waiting for my stories, but I couldn't do anything because I don't have the ideas, I don't have the willingness, the like that kind of feeling to keep updating my stories. So I think that's one of the things that I procrastinate a lot aside from my studies.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if you. I think you don't read. Sorry, you don't write because you read. You don't write in English, right? It's
I
in
write
Malaysia.
English. I
You
write
write
English.
in English?
Yeah, I normally don't write in Malaysia.
Okay, you write in. So, what is the website? I don't know. Maybe we
I would
can
rather
take a
keep
look.
it. I would rather keep it secret since it's not even
Secret.
interesting. I mean, like, it's not even a good story, so I prefer not to say it.
Okay, maybe we can post it on WhatsApp and we can keep it secret on the
Maybe.
on the WhatsApp group. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe yeah. I know it's your thing, right? It's your personal thing. So, but it's an English website. So
Yeah.
according to you.
I think it's like mixed website, not just English, but also that. Yeah, we can write any language in that.
So, but you also write on your native language
No,
or
normally not.
so yeah, that's very very impressive. I think writing helps a lot with expressing yourself because you have time to think about grammar and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
something that I've been procrastinating. I told to myself that I want to write more, and I know it's very beneficial, but I keep postponing those things about writing. I would like to journal to write like a journal, a daily journal, and but I don't know why, because I'm a big procrastinator. I don't do that. So yeah, maybe in the future, hopefully, I'm going to be able to write something that I want to do. I want it very very bad to something I want to do. So yeah. The next question you already kind of answered that. It's you do you consider yourself a procrastinator, or you are that kind of person who always do things immediately? You do the hard work immediately. You tackle the most difficult work at the beginning, and at the end you do the easy things. What do you do? Or you procrastinate?
I think it depends on my mood. Whenever I feel like I want to do something early, then I will do it. But whenever I feel like I don't have the time, or not I don't have time, but if I feel like I'm just not going to do it, I won't do it. it's just depend on my mood. If I'm feeling happy and I feel like I have kind of like free times and I want to do something, then I would do it early. But then again, if I'm not feeling that way, if I'm in a bad mood, if I'm kind of like not in the feeling to do something, some works or something like that, I would refuse to do it.
So it depends on the mood. So
Yeah.
you and Adiva, you shared a lot of things. She says something. She said something similar. It depends on the mood, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not too bad, because for me it doesn't depend in the mood, because it's for me, I procrastinate regardless of how I feel. I don't procrastinate if I am happy, if I am tired, if I feel good, or if I feel bad. So yeah, it seems like you guys, Nana and Adiva, you are not a procrastinator person, I guess. So that's cool. That's better. Good for you. Good for you guys. Okay, that's it. Nana, would you like to say anything else about our topic today?
I
About
think
this
no.
procrastination?
No. I think that's enough. But if I were to say something about this meeting, I would say thank you so much for everyone who joined this meeting and to stay until the moment you joined. And yeah, just thank you so much.
Yeah, because it's been kind of long, right?
Yeah, it's
I don't know,
almost August.
my video calls, I don't know why it's always they extend, like they exceed, or they pass the hour. So yeah, sorry about that, guys, but it's really nice to talk with you, and I'm really interested to hear from you your experiences